Hello gamers, welcome to another edition of Tonight on Maiden Game Table, where tonight I am beginning my solo campaign, tabletop RPG campaign actual play, featuring my brand new game, Gravity Drives and Dangers, a space opera role-playing game. If this looks like a game that you would like to purchase, you can download it at itch.io as a pay what you want. So when I say purchase, if you want it for free, fine. If not, that's fine too. Please click the link below, check it out. Also consider becoming a member of my channel to help bring me closer to making my hobby dreams come true, which is basically creating these solo games for you and for me. So thank you so much for all your support. Even if you don't become a member, thank you for the watch. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Thank you for joining my Mage Hammer's Game Table Facebook community page. We have a lot of great stuff going on there. I can't express how happy I am. This little community that we've all created here as solo role players. And yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the members that I have. Surf Monkey, Todd, Jamie, and Tabletop Wanderer. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for your continued support. And I'm really excited to bring this particular series to all of you. In my character creation video, if you haven't watched that yet, please go check it out. I created characters, and I decided we're going to go with a kind of a semi Star Trek pastiche, if pastiche is the right word. And the captain of our vehicle is Poldath Rockhammer. She is a former explorer, and she is wields. Everybody has a blaster pistol, and she also has a really cool power axe. His XO, his executive officer, and also science officer on their ship is Lethella Dechan, and she is an Eld science officer, and also she's from a faction of Eld that have limited psi powers. And next up is the security officer, Kataria Ranvar. She is a Lotharian warrior, but is the security officer in charge of security on their ship, and also is the gunnery tactical officer. And she is pretty cool. And then we have Skorth Wrenchy Pythias. He is a Slytherin engineer, and he has his favorite wrench, his lucky wrench. He always has it on him, and so the crew calls him Wrenchy when the captain's not around. So that is the main characters, the main officers on the Galaxy Fleet Starship GF-505 Polo Gama. Tabletop Wanderer. You know what? Since I'm talking about Tabletop Wanderer, let me just take a second to say that he's right. He did a first look at my game, and I'm beyond words at how grateful I am for him for doing that, and I hope it ends up bringing a lot of joy. But he mentioned that he had said to me, hey, why don't you make a science fiction version? And so, you know what, Dave, this game is dedicated to you. In fact, I probably should put that into the next update, if there is any update on this. You know, dedicated to Tabletop Wanderer. You were the main inspiration behind getting me to get off my butt and finish up the little sketchy sci-fi rules I had and make it into a playable game. So, Tabletop Wanderer, thank you. And this video's for you. Anyway, so also in his video, he said that maybe, you know, there should be like a sheet for starships. So I just, you know, typed this out. So they're on the GF-505 Polo Gama. Polo Gama is a famous Drandarian explorer, and so when Poldath was given her ship, her command, she was allowed to name her ship. It kept its designation, but the name could change, and so she changed it. It is a medium in Gravity Drives and Dangers. There's light, medium, and heavy starships. This is a medium exploration starship. It has a quality 5D. That's kind of like a catch-all for maneuverability, weapon systems, all kinds of different things, all rolled into just 5D. The main, as all starships in my universe, Gravity Drive and Fusion Drive. Gravity Drive gets you, like, you fold space and go up to 50 light years, and Fusion Drives allow you to move and maneuver within different planetary systems or wherever you end up folding to. The pilot here is a Kester 5. He's a next-gen pilot. Next-gens are genetically modified humans. They're very rare. But of course, there's one in Galaxy Fleet, and Poldath, she grabbed him up when she did. They are regulated by the Galaxy Fleet, but he appears to be no danger, and he is their pilot. I just statted up his piloting skill and piled him up. He is not part of my main team, but he is a crew member on the ship. The gunner is Kataria, as I mentioned. So in my core rules, I kept it pretty simple. So the pilot and the gunner were kind of the same one, but if you wanted to split them off like they do in like Star Trek, someone shooting the guns, or even in Star Wars when they're trying to escape from the TIE fighters in A New Hope, you know, Luke goes and starts shooting, Han goes and shoots, Chewie's driving. So you can put a gunner in if you want. You just make their gunnery skill, or in this case, I made it the armament skill, be the one shooting the weapons and the pilot be the one driving the ship. So you could do that, or you could combine the two and they could control all the guns from their helm. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. But then I added up all the modifiers, quality plus Kester's skill that gets 10D if he's making any kind of maneuvers, so forth and so on. 8D for weapons, because you use the quality, and then you add in his armor skill. And then I used Wrenchy's repair skill, because he's the main engineer and he will be running around fixing anything in trouble. 6 shields, hull 30. So this is my little starship character sheet, and we'll see if that comes into play. And so without further ado, we're going to get started. Now, because this is kind of more Star Trek-y, I was going to use Solo Spelunking's his sci-fi framework, science fiction's framework, but I decided that was a little bit more on the other end of it. Would have been if I had rolled up Space Rogues, I would have used that for the encounters, but instead I'm going to use my Inkwell side quest decks science fiction. And I'm basically gonna, like I do kind of with, which I did before, I'm gonna roll 3 of these, and I'm gonna choose the one I think is gonna work best for this session, or the one I'm most in the mood to do. So, so these are cards that are numbered 1 to 54. So we're gonna roll a D6. If it's a 5, we're gonna re-roll it, and a D10. So we're at 53. So the return of Volbot. That sounds interesting. Maybe I should hide those. Next up is 15. No. Peeky. Interesting. All right. And finally, my third choice, and I will choose from them myself, 30. Okay. Yeah, that one looks interesting, but I don't think I want to do that yet with this crew. I fight... Yeah, that one, I get it. It's a little silly. So I think I'll go with this one. All right, so we're going with the 15 roll. Okay. All right, so I've chosen, okay. Excellent. All right, so that should work pretty well for the theming of this campaign. So we're going to get right to it. So, Captain Poldath, on our very first mission, is being sent out to do a routine check, like it's not really, I guess it's a planetary audit, to give a check to a space colony that is not quite part of the Galaxy Force, or under protection of the Galaxy Force. So they are going to, she's gonna sit on her command chair, and then Lithella's gonna be her science thing. Kataria here. Wrenchy's going to be running around as he does, and this is going to be our pilot, our next-gen pilot. Oh, I didn't really introduce you to my other characters, but you'll be introduced to them during play because I really want to get into the story. So, Poldath, the ship's mission is to report to a colony that is, we're going to call it Planet Logos 10. So they're going to Planet Logos 10. It is 3 jumps away. It's over 150 light years away. So it'll take, folds are fairly instantaneous, but they have to wait 1d3 days or so for them to recharge. So what I think I'll do is as they jump and they're recharging, I'll see if they have an encounter in each of those places, and I'll just roll 1 or 2. And then I know I don't really have anything that generates sci-fi encounters right now. I didn't know what kind of adventure I was going to do, so I will have something a little bit more ready for that. I'm just going to use another games system. There's just, for science fiction, there's so many things going on as far as what they could be, that I'm going to rely on other people's science fiction games and any encounter tables they have. But I'll kind of, I have my own limited list of foes here, just give you guys an idea, and I'll see if one of those things pops out at them if there's an encounter. All right, so Poldath is like, all right, team, it's our first mission. We're just gonna go give a check-in and try to recruit another planet. All right, set a course for Logos 10. Fold! And so the pilot, he clicks it, boom, they fold, boom, and they've gone 50 light years. Now, after every jump, they take 1d3 plus 1 days to recharge. So it's going to take 4 days after this first jump. So they have 4 days to hang out. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll and see if there's an encounter, just like one encounter over the course of the 4 days. There's not. 1 or 2 is going to be an encounter. So after the 4 days have passed, they, doing training, maintaining the ship, usual things that you do on a starship, they're going to fold again. Remember, it's going to be 3 folds, and then it's going to take 3 days to recharge. Let's see if during those 3 days there is an encounter. So 1, 2, it'll be first day, 3, 4, second day, 5, 6, the third day, and it's going to be the second day. Now, remember, if they get in major trouble, they're not ready to fold yet, so they wouldn't be able to escape unless they kind of push the end. We'll get to that when it happens. We got to see what the encounter is anyway. All right, so I think we're just going to start out with a real classic, and it is pirates. So Lithella is like, Captain, there is a ship approaching. One of ours. There's none scheduled to be in this sector. No, sir. It's of an unknown configuration, at least one that is not on our registers. I would assume it is either an alien of some kind or a pirate ship. Pirates. They make me sick. Very well. Keep an eye on it. Get ready with the fusion drives in case we need to make maneuvers. And then, as they get closer, Lithella, hail them. Yes, sir. No response, sir. Well, that's suspicious. All right, shields obviously are on. Yes, sir. All right, Kataria, get those. Don't engage the weapons quite yet, but on my command. Yes, of course. And so, they are, then suddenly Lithella says, we are being hailed, sir. All right, put him on screen. And he says, and by the way, Lithella, don't call me sir, call me Mom. Yes, Mom, I keep forgetting. It's okay, we're all gonna get used to each other before this mission is over, I'm sure. All right, put him on screen. So on screen, there pops up it's another Drandar, and he's like, Little far from home, are you? I am Captain Poldath Rockhammer of the Galaxy Fleet starship Polo Gama. We are well within our rights to be in this sector of space. By what do you claim to be here? Huh. Mercantilism. Mm-hmm. Well, we have nothing to sell. We are not traders. We're explorers. Oh, is that what you're calling yourselves these days? All right, listen. Go about your business. Leave us be. I'm afraid that Galaxy Fleet ships are rich in resources, and so I'm afraid that you are going to have to surrender to us and prepare to be boarded. We'll take what we want, and then we'll leave, and you can go about your business. If not, it could get ugly, and we could end up taking what we want by force rather than choice. Well, I'm afraid that I cannot allow that to happen, so you're welcome to try. Captain, I got this. I'm going to warn you that if you do attack a Galaxy Fleet starship, that could go beyond bad for you. You would end up in detention for several cycles. Maybe more than even us long-lived Drandars would have. So, listen, for Drandar to Drandar, just go about your business. We have nothing of value. We're not carrying any cargo beyond our crew and our resources we need to make our mission. So please, move on. So, Poldath has a diplomacy skill, so I'm going to make a roll. It's only 3D. It's a hard sell, though. I think these pirates are looking for what they need. So I'm going to make it a DL4. If her words just now have any effect on this pirate, then that rolled out of my hand. I can't count as a roll, I think. Maybe I should. No, I won't. No. I'll roll them all at once. That's what I usually do. All right, anyway, so she's going to make a roll. She needs to get DL4. By the way, I'm not using daring dice for this campaign, which are from my pulp game. All right, so right now she's got 2 successes. She needs 2 more. So if she can get this die to explode 2 more times, nope. So he's like, I'm afraid that this negotiation is over. Prepare to be boarded. Cut communication, Lithella. Raise the alert. So they go into alert and phrase. Kataria, power up weapons. Renchi, are the shields all set? Or no, I'm sorry, she would not call him Renchi. Officer Pathias, are the shields set? Yes, they are, Captain. All right, I got this. All right, my crew, my engineering crew is ready to go on all decks. Excellent. All right, be ready. All right, sir, they're powering up their weapons. I guys see that as well. Get ready. All right, I do not want to fire on them if we do not have to. So Kester 5, get ready for evasive maneuvers. So, in Starship Combat in my game, we roll initiative by pilot. It's slightly different from my character combat. Most everything works the same way. You go in combat rounds, you roll initiative at the beginning of each turn, and then you take actions. But I decided that I felt that pilots should have, if they're good at being piloting, they should be able to maneuver their ships into place. So it goes in pilot check order. So that's what we're going to do. So he gets 5 dice, Kester 5. So he's going to roll his skill. See how many successes he gets. He gets 5 plus an exploding die, so 5. And then the pilot is not as good as him, and he is only rolling 3. And so they are going after the Polo Gama. Now, I just have, shoot rules in my starship here. But I think what I'm going to do is, if you have a fighter's maneuver, but these ships are kind of hard to maneuver, but I'm going to roll to see if his maneuvers give them a bonus to their shields. It wouldn't boost their shields, but it would be, they would move it so that it's most optimal on their shields. So I'm going to have him make a piloting check, and I'm going to add the quality of the ship, because that determines its maneuverability. So that's looking at 10 dice. And so to increase it, I'd say, since they have shield 6, I'm going to say he needs 6 successes to be able to add another shield for this one attack only. All right, so pretty good. Exploding die. So that's 3, 6, 7. So he just gets it. And so they're going to have an effective shields of 7 for this attack that's coming their way. And that's because Poldath does not want to attack the pirates first. He wants the pirates to be first to fire on them. So they took evasive maneuvers. If you have evasive maneuvers in your game, you can do it. Otherwise, you can just rely on how the combat system works with the shields. All right, but the other ship is a medium ship, and it's an old converted freighter, and they are going to open fire on the Polo Gama. So their pilot has 3, and the quality is 5 for a medium starship. And so that is 8 dice here. And they need to get a 7 or higher thanks to the evasive maneuvers to do any damage. They fire off their weapons. And so they get 5 with no exploding dice, so their attack hits the shields and it does not affect the Polo Gama at all. And then Poldath says, "All right, crew, they fired on us. We are entitled to protect ourselves. So let's fire on them." So they're rolling their pilot. What did I roll for their pilot last time? 4? Yeah, I think I rolled 4 for their pilot, and we rolled 5 for ours. Or did I roll 3? I think I rolled 3. Their pilot's not very good. So they got 3, and Kester got 3 with an exploding die. So that makes it 4. If it had been a tie, they just re-roll. So the Polo Gama does act first again this turn. This time, not evasive maneuvers. They're opening fire. Now, like I said, I'm using Kataria's gunnery skill. So that's going to be 8 dice. And they are at shield 6. And that is 4, 5, 6. So that is not enough to penetrate their shields. And so they fire back. And they are at 8. Ooh. This time they're going for 6. Looks like they got a good shot in this time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 2 exploding dice. 8. So that gets 2 points off of their hull. And the shields are reduced by 1. Poldath yells, "Officer Pythias, make sure your team is repairing the damage, and damage report. Limited damage on the hull. Make sure they're repairing it, and make sure you get those shields back up." Yes. So he starts sending commands down to the lower decks, and so they took 2 damage, so that puts their hull at 28, and it puts their shields at 5. Now we're going to roll initiative again. 5 versus 3. Well, Kester, exploding dice, everything. Kester, once again, is going first. So on that roll, Pythias and his engineering team are going to make a repair roll using Pythias's score. Now, it's DL4 to be able to repair properly, and he barely gets it. The team is a little sluggish. They're all getting used to working with each other, but they do get enough successes. So when they succeed, they heal or repair, I guess is the better word. They repair D3 plus 1 hull points. So they've repaired both of the hull points back up, and 1d2 shields. And so they got 2 shields. So yeah, 1 shield. So they easily repaired that grazing blow from the pirates. And now they're firing back. So 5. Okay. Kataria, fire. at will. So Kataria gets 3, 4, 5, 6 with an exploding die. 7. So they too finally land a blow on the hull of the pirate ship. Now I'm going to say the pirate ship is not as a good shape as the Galaxy Fleet starship. So the hull points for a medium ship is 30. I'm going to say they're resting at 25 because they don't have the same kind of resources that the Galaxy Fleet does. So that was they took I think it was 2, so they're down to 23, and their shields are down to 5. Their shields are healthy, and we'll see if their people can repair. All right, and then they fire back. 3, 5, 8. And this time, they are not able to penetrate the shields of the Polo Gama. All right, so we go to initiative. 3 versus 5. And Kester 5, once again, the pilot that he is, gets them initiative. So, there's nothing to be repaired, but Wrenchy and his team are on point, ready to go. And they open fire again. They're firing at will. That is 5 and 8. So 8 dice. And only 3 this time with an exploding die, another exploding die. So that manages to get to 5, but that is not enough to penetrate their shields. Their shields are resting right at 5. So they don't have as good engineers, and their engineer skill is only 3, and they need a DL4 to repair something. Well, looks like they did. They repaired. So they repair 1d2, so they're going to repair all the damage to their ship, and they're going to improve their shields back up to 6. So they're at 25 and 6. All right. So, all right. And they need to fire. I don't think I fired for them. So 5 and 3. All right, so that is 3, 4, 5 with an exploding die. 6. So they just hit their shields. You know, they're like shaking back and forth. You know, the inertial dampeners are. The captain did not really fall out of her command ship. All right, so initiative. 3 versus 5. All right. So they get an exploding die. Okay, so yeah, still not going to be enough. Poldath says, "Hey, Officer Matthias, see if you can send some energy to our guns." Okay. Yes, let's try. So that'll be an engineering roll. That's 7 dice. Sends commands down to an engineering team, and also is manipulating things from the bridge as best that he can. And to juice it up, I'd say, let's say DL5. And gets 4, 5. So just gets it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add +2 dice to this next attack because the engineering team is able to juice the weapons. So Kataria is making those rolls. She's using the 5 skill from there, plus her 3 for gunnery skill, which is 8, and then 2 more because of the juiced guns. And that is 4, 5, 6 with an exploding die, another exploding die. So they do get across for 2 damage onto the ship. So it's going to lose a shield, and it's down to 23. All right. Now it's their turn. Let's see if their engineering team can repair. They cannot. They're trying frantically, but they can't. And so they're going to fire off. They also fire 8. And they get 4, 5. That's not enough to get through the shield of the Polo Gama. So they're going to roll initiative. Kester 5 rolling initiative for the team. Oh, man. Wow. He's a great pilot. He's able to get them into great position. So much so, I'm going to give them an additional die. We're going to try to juice the guns again. Need to deal, what did I say, 4? It was 4 last time? I think so. We'll say deal 5. It should be a little harder. I think it was deal 5 last turn. All right, so that's 3, 4, 5 with an exploding die, 6. So they juice the guns. So with the maneuver plus the juicing of the guns, they're going to be rolling 9 dice, or more than that. So 5 for skill, 5 for the quality, 3 for her skill, then 2 for the juicing and 1 for maneuverability. All right, so they get 2, 4, 6, 8 with 2 exploding dice, another exploding die, 9 with an exploding dice, 10. So that is 5 damage onto their hull. And their shields go down. And I'm going to make a roll to see if they decide that that's a little too much damage based on the resources they have to be able to repair their ship. They want to get out of here before their fusion drive gets hurt, or whether they're stubborn and are going to stick it out. Drandar are known for their stubbornness, so we'll see. So I'll just say on a roll of 1, they're deciding to leave. Oh, close. So they're going to stick around, and it's their attack. They're going to try to repair first. They got 3, 4, so they're able to repair 1d3 hull, so 3 hull, and 1d2 shields, only 1 shield. And they fire away at the Polo Gama, and they get 3, 6. Polo Gama shields is still sitting at 6, so they do not get through because there's no exploding dice there. Then we roll initiative. Flying around each other, firing guns. Oh, 2 exploding dice. Oh, so we're only at 3. Oh, I should have rolled Kester's dice, but so they're only at 3 successes. They're at 2 successes with 2 exploding. Yeah, so they go first this time. So they're going to try to do some repairs. They are unable to. They need to deal 4, and they're going to fire first. Oof. Ooh, so that's 5, 6. If that exploding die, they landed a blow. So our team is looking at some damage. So they got 1 over. So that brings their hull down to 29 and their shields down to 5. Drandar's like, forget about the repairs for now. Juice the guns. So they're going to do that instead. They get 3 successes, but 2 exploding dice. They need a 5 to juice the guns. And that's right there, plus another exploding die. 6. That's good. So they juice the guns, so it's additional 2. So she's going to fire off her 8 guns, plus the 2 for the juiced guns. And, ooh, that's a good hit. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, and 2 exploding dice. So still 8, that's 3 damage, bringing them down to 18. And their shields are down to 4. I'm going to make a roll before initiative to see if they run away. This time it's a 1 or a 2, because they're, yeah, right on the edge. All right, so 3 and Kester 5 to see who goes first. Kester gets 2 plus the exploding die. They only get 1, so we don't need to do that exploding die. And our team is ready to go. He says, juice the weapons. And Pathias like, I don't know if they can take any more. Do it! And so he's going to try. I'm not a miracle worker. So that's 4. Ooh, not enough. We need 5 to juice the dice, so that is not going to happen. So they just make their attack with the regular 8 dice as per normal. And that is, so that is 6 plus 3 exploding dice. And that is 8. 8 total. Their shields are at 4, so now their shields go down to 3. And that's 4 over onto their... So So they're at 14. So their team is going to try to repair. You need DL4. They only get DL2. They're going to shoot, and then they're going to fold before their engines become damaged. But they're going to take one parting shot before they take off into the ether. And it's a pretty decent shot. 2 exploding dice. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's just enough to hit their shields but not do any damage to the hull. And then they fold away. Ah, serves them right, bloody pirates. Well done, team. Officer Pythias, get your team on repairing our hull and shields for our last day before we fold again. Yes, Captain. And so that's where we're going to end this. They have one more jump, and then they'll make their way to the Logos 10. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying Gravity Drives and Dangers if you've already downloaded it. And hopefully you're going to begin, and if you haven't already, really, hopefully you're enjoying this little story that I'm putting together here. I also want to kind of just highlight, this game I really designed that you have all the tools at your fingertips to make up imagination, like juicing things. That's not in the bare bones of the Starship Combat. I just thought, oh, that's something cool to do. Let's do it. And as long as you make rolls to see if it happens, that's the way role-playing games work. So I just want to highlight that, I think, as a feature of my game, and I hope that you also agree. All right, so once again, thank you for all of your support. Thank you to my members. Thank you to all of you that watch and comment. I love it. Please let me know what you think of this campaign so far in this first episode. And see me next time for Logos 10, and I'll see you then. Keep on rolling dice and playing games. Magehammer out.